Hey friends, welcome to this week's Tony's Tips. I'm glad you're tuning in. Hope you're doing well. And just a few things to go over to support and encourage you and share some ideas and thoughts. Number one, I'm excited to say I've hit the 11-pound mark. I love this thing. As I shared with you recently, it was really hard for me to get finally across that line to get started again, because once we get into some patterns that aren't so great, sometimes it's hard to break out of them. And so it was just a matter of drawing the line and saying, okay, I'm done, I'm ready, get started. And now to be 11 pounds lighter is just feeling so amazing. And it's like, what was I waiting for, right? But I had a conversation with a client today who just finished 1 week today, down 7 pounds. And they said that they actually had hit, because they were weighing and checking every day, they hit 7 pounds 2 days ago. And then today did not see any more loss, felt really discouraged. And it was a great opportunity to teach this new client that the reason we only want to weigh once a week is because anything can happen between those 7 days from week to week weigh-in. First of all, the company prefers us to gauge our progress once a month. The once a week weigh-in is just to monitor how are things going, because sometimes we do hit stalls, and sometimes it's just a matter of me asking you questions and finding out what things may be inhibiting your weight loss. But I also tell people it's usually going to be about 9 out of 10 weeks you'll lose weight, and there's going to be that 1 week often that there will be a stall. For many people, not everybody, but sometimes it's just a matter of tweaking something a little bit differently. And so don't hesitate to reach out, and we just should chat after your weekly check-in, just so we can review that and see if there's anything that you're doing that might we can change just a little bit, make a little alteration to have you get even greater success. So anyway, but again, during the week, anything can happen. You can be down a pound, 2 pounds, and then up a pound or 2 pounds, and then flat for a couple days. But week after week, 9 out of 10 weeks, for the most part, if not 10 out of 10 weeks, you're going to be down week to week. So you don't want to play that psychological game with yourself and go, oh man, what did I do wrong? Because I'm heavier today than I was yesterday, or I haven't lost in 2 days. You can't look that closely. Your body needs time. Scales aren't perfect. Sometimes you've got some extra water weight you're retaining. Maybe there's just a bowel movement that hasn't happened yet. All kinds of things can contribute to the daily ups and downs of the scale. In fact, I weighed recently, and the weight was the same as it was the day before, and falling into the old trap myself, and went, wait a second, that's not right. I moved the scale about 2 feet away to a different part of the floor, and it was down like 0.8 pounds. And I thought that's a perfect example, one, of why we don't weigh every day. Two, to remember that the scales aren't perfect. They're digital machines, and they're not perfect. And so they can give you a different reading 5 different times in a row, possibly. So anyway, don't look too closely at that. And definitely you want to stretch out your weigh-ins once a week rather than every day. Now, in maintenance, I really recommend weighing every day, at least for some of you. Some, once a week, that's great. I like that daily weigh-in, because if I see that my eating habits have push the scale up over the last few days, then I want to curb that right away, which leads me to something else, and that is the fact that I didn't follow my own advice this time with all of our travels and all the reasons I can give you and all the excuses I can make. The bottom line was, I always encourage people, when you get to your goal and you're where you want to be, if you get 5 pounds higher than that goal, I strongly recommend you go back on program for 1 week. It's a way of redisciplining yourself, revisiting portion control. Little slap in the face saying, I'm back on program because I wasn't behaving so well. And it's so much easier, guys, to do it at 5 pounds than it is at 15 or 20 or 30. And I'm coaching people right now that maybe have put 40 pounds back on of the 60 or 70 that they lost, and saying, oh, I wish I would have stopped at the 5 pounds, even 10 pounds. I wish I would have just stopped, gone back on program, and got back to where I need to be. So, hey, we've kept our weight off for over 9 years now, but every year, at least, I'd say once a year, we'll have a little tune-up, because we want to revisit portion control discipline, and because it's so easy for 5 or 10 pounds to creep back up. So I encourage you to look at this as a tool to help you. The goal is to change our mindset about food, to change our lifestyle, to change our eating habits, so that we can stay healthy, keep our weight off, and not necessarily have to go back on program. But it's just nice that we have this tool if we need it. Just don't let yourself lie to yourself that say, well, I'll go back on, and then not. And then pretty soon you've got 20, 30, 40 pounds that you've got to re-lose. And that's discouraging. So also, the Habits of Health Zoom every Wednesday night I really encourage you to tune into that. Hopefully you're getting that text each week. If you text to the number 99000, send a text that says Optavia 30, Optavia 30, no space in between. And then every week you'll get the reminder for the Habits of Health Zoom, and you can watch it live, which is great, or you can subscribe to the weekly YouTube so that you get it in your inbox every week. And you can just go to YouTube and type in Optavia Habits of Health. But again, the whole purpose behind that is to not only encourage people that are on their weight loss journey, but it's to encourage people for their lifetime journey of keeping weight off. All kinds of fabulous topics that are taken from Dr. Anderson's material, but they're hosted by a lot of my colleagues, and a lot of guests are on there, and you'll find great encouragement. And what's 30 minutes a week to watch that to help you with the long-term picture of health? So anyway, thanks for those of you that have checked in. If you haven't checked in yet, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you'd like to have a chat. And folks, this is one of our highest priorities in our lives, and that's our health. Because once we cross some lines, sometimes there's no coming back, and we want to stay as healthy as we can be along the journey. So I encourage you to, again, check in, stay the course, and reach out. Let me know if you're doing well, if you're having struggles, and let's chat. God bless. Keep up the good work. Bye, everyone.